Welcome to the best of Beck Did It Better. This is normally a podcast where we look at the 500 greatest albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. However, my wife told me that nobody wants to spend an hour of their time listening to my voice, so we are also releasing short previews of each episode that we call The Best of Beck Did It Better. This is a preview of our upcoming episode where we review how Bob Dylan discovered electricity on his album, Highway 61 Revisited. We talk about how nice it is to not have to listen to the Beatles for a week, the best tracks about highways, and we list our favorite rock and roll songs of all time. In this short clip, we hop into Russell's advice corner, and we talk about stealing things from our moms. If you like this bit, please subscribe to Beck Did It Better, anywhere you find podcasts. Also, feel free to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Beck Did It Better, and call into the Beck line at 802-277-BECK. Compliment us, rake us over the coals, or just be funny enough so I can play the message on the show. At this point, if you've got a phone and a heartbeat, you'll probably get played. Enjoy this preview of Beck Did It Better, and look for new episodes to drop each Tuesday. When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time, but you're just too lazy to look it up online. If you want to hear four guys who chat and then they get off track, I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack. Beck Did It Better. Awesome. Russ, rolling going. How's it going? What are you into?
Well, I've started on a burgundy tonight, but soon I'm going to be hitting the harder stuff.
Don't get lost in Juarez when it's Easter time.
It's really interesting. Since we got into these older albums, we started with the Beatles and the Beach Boys. I started thinking, I wonder if my mom has any of these records. I knew she had all this record collection, but I've never had a record player. I've never collected records. So I went over to her house and I just asked her, hey, can I just raid the record collection in the basement and see what you have down there? And so I went over there and I opened it. And first I had to throw away about 400 VHS tapes to get to the records. Like every slam dunk contest from the 90s was on VHS in my basement. Everything had to be thrown away. Every Super Bowl for 20 years had to be thrown away.
What, did you at least watch the Isaiah Ryder slam dunk contest?
Junior,
Yeah.
JR. Shout out Alameda, California.
I kept the East Bay Funk, no doubt. So I started coming across these albums, and I thought maybe I could share with you guys some of the albums I came across.
Oh, please do.
And you did this after talking to your mom?
I told my mom that I was going to go check out her albums that were...
It's time for one-on-one with
Russell's
mom. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I apologize. Not really.
So I played that wildly inappropriate sting for her, and she said, you can either go down there and look at the albums, or you can just leave my house and never come back. So I decided to go down there and start fiddling through some of the albums. And
It's called a podcast, Mom, and if you don't like it, I'm going to go to the basement.
I thought I would just share some of the ones that I came across, and then I might need some advice on how I'm supposed to go about using these albums in a second. But can I share some of the exciting ones that I came across?
Yeah, I'm into this. This is extremely my shit.
We're on tenterhooks.
So the first one I came across that I thought was really exciting was Meet the Beatles, their first album. I thought that was pretty awesome that my mom had Meet the Beatles.
Yeah, she's in on the ground floor of that stuff. Does that have Love Me Do on it, or Please Please Me maybe?
We're not at that album yet, Aaron. I don't know that. Have that knowledge in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, no research.
Did we not figure out from the last podcast that I'm not supposed to be prompted with unprompted questions?
Oh my God.
Get out of your way.
Russell's off script. He's going to get mad.
He's off script.
We also had the Best of the Beach Boys Volume 2, which had surfing songs and Help Me Rhonda, so that's pretty awesome.
Great.
She had Aretha live at the Fillmore West.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's good stuff.
Matt, I think you would like this one, Harvest by Neil Young.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
that's a really good one. Yep.
So good. Top 10.
One that may be controversial with Aaron down the road, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors.
I got a lot to say about that one.
Oh my God. It's banger after banger.
Another one that we've covered already in a special bonus podcast that maybe will be released someday is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John.
Wait, so in the Venn diagram of Russell's mom's records and Aaron's mom's records, we have Goodbye
That's
Yellow
where we
Brick
cross.
Road.
Yeah.
That's where we cross.
Nailed it.
Guys, the whole internet just went crazy. Oh my God, my computer just shut down. I'm getting so many emails. I can't believe it. They both had the same record. It was only one of the top selling records of the 70s. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Your mom breathes oxygen too? Oh my God.
Another album that is definitely going to cause controversy with this group is Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder.
I have that one. It's so good.
Kind of basic.
And then the
Speaking
final
of
two,
harmonica.
my favorite one that I came across is the Star Wars original soundtrack on record.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
And then, of
John
course,
Williams.
the second one I came across was Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. It's his greatest hits, so I don't know if it includes songs from Whipped Cream and other fancy things.
So
But here's where I really need your advice. Could I go to the advice corner? Would that work for you guys?
Let's get into the corner. Let's do this.
and again, I was just about to do that. It looked like I was looking at something else, but I definitely.
Get to the corner. It's time for Russell's Advice Corner. Oh, yeah.
Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, Russell's Advice Corner is not where Russell gives us advice. It's where we listen to Russell's question and then make jokes about it and don't actually give any useful advice at any time. So,
And if listeners have advice too, they can call in, can't they?
yeah,
Rob?
we got a phone line, 802-277-BECK. Call the Beck line, leave a number. So far, all the messages have been very rude and disrespectful.
Hold on a sec. I got to write that down. What was that number again?
802-277-BECK.
All right.
All right, so here's where I need your advice. I stole all these records from my mom. I took 2 grocery bags home with me. So I've got about
That was going to be my question.
I've got about 50
Yeah.
records that I took. She knew I was taking them. She was totally fine with
Okay.
it.
I picture Russ going out like the window of the basement with 2 bags and running out.
Sticking
His
one
mom's
leg
like,
out.
Russell?
Hey, I think stealing from our
Throwing them out
moms
the
is a
window.
theme on this podcast. Didn't Rob talk about stealing from his mom in the last one?
Oh, no, come on. That was just cash.
The floodlight in the back that only turns on with motion, like a motion detector,
Yeah.
all of a sudden flashed on and she started yelling at me. And she's like, "What are you doing out in the backyard?"
You're hugging against the wall, just going.
I'm toilet papering the neighbor's house. It's just getting way out of control. But so my first piece of
It's that
advice
Russell
is,
boy. He's back.
if I've never had a record player, is it okay if I get a record player that's one of these $100 record players that has the speakers built right into it? Or do I need to pay lots of money to get some super fancy setup?
If you want to hear the advice that we gave Russell and probably changed his life forever, please subscribe to Beck Did It Better and look for new episodes every Tuesday. When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time, but you're just too lazy to look it up online. If you want to hear 4 guys who chat and then they get off track, I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack. Beck Did It Better.